Okay, so the Penguin has finally ended. I've seen the season finale and I have to say it was perfect. Everything about it was perfect. You know, that Homelander meme, that's me right now because I enjoyed it to the full extent. And also, in a way, the ending was tragic. The show will make sure that you hate the Penguin by the end of it because he does some horrible, horrible things. Now, firstly, I'll just talk about my non spoiler thoughts. And so there are no spoilers. And later, I'll be going full spoiler mode. So, one thing is the finale as an episode was perfect. It was perfectly paced and the acting was very great. The writing was very great. And also there were great character showdowns, between two characters, and action was there, and shocking moments, subverting your expectations. Everything which you expect is there. All the build up has been paid off perfectly in this episode. And Colin Farrell, oh my god, he has to win an Emmy. And I'm not just talking about a nomination. He has to win the actual award because he's so good. And this episode shows that. Especially like in the starting, I won't say which scene, but you can just feel him, even though he's bad, he still somehow makes you empathize for him. And that's what good acting is. And he has to win his Emmy. I don't care. He deserves it the most because he's just mind blowing. So is Kristen Milioti again as Sophia Falcone. She's also very incredible. Then I also loved the Batman references. I won't say what those references are, but they're good. But although, since I'm a Batman fanboy, I wanted more, but it's okay. I understand why the creators did what they did. And overall, if you haven't seen the show, watch it because it's 8 hours of peak television, in my opinion. And everything about it was perfect. And it sets up Batman Part 2 perfectly. I can't wait for that movie as well. And they took a D-tier villain, the Penguin, and gave him this beautiful origin story. And now he's like a super villain. He's really, really evil. And they make sure you feel that way by the end of it. So if you haven't watched it, please watch it. Thank you to Matt Reeves for bringing us this show because it's just so good. Okay, so now let's jump into the spoiler section. So if you haven't seen the show or the finale, this is your last warning. Okay, so now I feel the best way to talk about the finale is going character by character, as a lot of plot points overlap. Okay, so firstly we'll talk about Frances Cobb, Oz's mom. And oh my god, the opening flashback was so good because they reveal that she knew all along. She knew that Oz killed his brothers. And I didn't expect that. She even tries to make Rex kill Oz. But then at the club, she starts to overthink and gives Oz a second chance. And by the time she realizes that it was a mistake, it gets too late. And this is such a good thing about this show. It gives different perspectives on the same events, which makes it so interesting to watch. And also it added a whole new layer for Frances, as now we also see that she is also a reason, why Oz is the way he is today. And Colin Farrell's acting in that scene, the starting scene at Monroe's club, it was so good. When he finds out his mom knew all along, you could see the broken heart in his eyes. You could feel the pain which he's suffering that time. And he still refused to give out the truth. And another thing which the show does so good is subverting your expectations. It has already done this a lot of times, and in this episode they do it again a couple times. Firstly in this scene as well. The whole season was hinting to the moments where Oz will kill his mother before she turns, all psycho. But no, Oz takes revenge on his mother now by keeping her alive and in pain. Also hitting home the point that Oz himself is a evil person. He's a psycho. Now coming to Sophia. Well, firstly, she survives the show like I predicted, but not the way I thought she would. And the Monroe confrontation scene, as I already said, it was so well written and well acted. Kristen Milioti also deserves at least a nomination for her performance. I hope she wins it, but a nomination is a must for her. She's so brilliant in this episode as well. You can finally see that in this episode, she's fully confident in what she's doing and why she's doing it. And you can see that in her performance. She wanted to make Oz feel real pain, and in a way, she succeeded. Although Oz, he quickly gained back the upper hand using the councilman. Again, a full circle moment, because we have already seen how good he is in manipulating people using just words. And then Sophia ends up getting captured and is sent back to the last place she would want to go, Arkham. And that scene was really well shot as well. They used close up angles and the camera flashing, white light, again subverting your expectations. I expected Oz will kill her there, but no, he sends her to Arkham. And then in Arkham, we get a callback to Selina Kyle. I loved the scene. They also play the Catwoman theme in the background. Really, really, really loved that. And finally, she contacted her half sister. And I think Sophia will have a major role in Batman Part 2. I can't wait for Bruce Wayne and Sophia Falcone to interact. It'll be so good. Then, now coming to Vic. I don't know what to say. Well, okay, imagine Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad, one of the best characters of all time. We all know he's a good guy, he has a good heart and he wants to do the right thing. But he always ends up in a sad position and he gets screwed over time and time again. And, he's just a depressed character. And in Breaking Bad, they end up giving him a happy ending. But now imagine if he doesn't get a happy ending. That's what happens in this show. Vic dies. Yeah, he just dies. I mean, it's a very tragic death, which again cements the point that Oz cannot be trusted and he's a psycho and he's a evil person who would do anything to stay at the top. Vic even had a great moment at the start, where he fearlessly talked to all the gang leaders and tried to bring them together. But man, he just ends up getting it killed. Again, the show subverts your expectations. I never expected him to die, especially in that way. That scene, the dialogues, the way he dies, everything was so sad and horrific. Oz is really a horrible person. Why did Vic die? He didn't have to die. I really loved him. But, that's how you make a supervillain origin story. This is so well written. And in a way, the death feels earned. I mean, see, Oz in the first episode, he finds Vic. He almost killed him in the first episode, but he doesn't. He uses him throughout the 8 episodes, and finally, when he's at the top, he kills him. That's just sad. And coming to Oz himself, he's a psycho. Simple as that. At the start of the season, the show tried to make us understand where he's coming from. They tried to make us sympathize with him, but the last 2 episodes, we really see Oz as a horrible human being. He's a psychotic villain and a horrible person who does bad things. And the scene with the councilman, so good. As I already said, it perfectly summarized his character. He was in a low spot, so he cooks up a lie and feeds it to the councilman, and then just like that, he's out of that situation. We also get a glimpse of Bella Real, and we see that Oz might want to go even higher in terms of power. He's looking at that mayor position. And then we also have a Godfather moment where all the other gang leaders are killed while Oz is driving Sophia towards the riverside. Everything about this episode was just perfect, so well written. And then the show ends with the bat signal. Although I feel they really missed a powerful ending by not playing the Batman theme. I don't know why. They played the Catwoman theme earlier. Why didn't they play the Batman theme when they showed the bat signal? I don't know. Because it would have ended really nicely. And so yeah, that's the end of the season 1. I hope there's a season 2. I really hope. If they have a good story to tell, I hope they make a season 2. And this is a perfect show in terms of a villain origin story. I would definitely recommend it. And I'm not kidding when I say Penguin might be one of the most evil villains of all time if Matt Reeves uses him properly. Because the things which he does in this show are horrific, and I hope this character development which happened throughout this TV show is used in the movie in a good way. I hope Matt Reeves just cooks with him. And the only sad thing about this is that now we have to wait 2 more years for the Batman Part 2. 2 more years. Okay, bye.